Joining me this morning is author Tracy Duhaney to speak about or to discuss her book, Discovering Your Inner CEO, a woman's guided journal. Morning, Tracy. Welcome to Smile.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, it's a pleasure to have you. You are an author, clearly.
Yes.
You're also a business strategist.
Yes.
And organizational psychologist.
Yes.
Great.
And ...
Right? And so much more. It's a long list. How much of your professional work and work experiences went into this in this book?
I would say a lot, and I would also say that it was a multifaceted attempt to bring different areas of my life together and what I found worked for me to put into a book to help women do the same thing and really bring that success level to different heights and really understand what it is that they want and how they can achieve it. So from my organizational psychology background, understanding inner workings of people within businesses and culture and how that can really help motivate and promote leadership and development.
Why target women?
Because as women, we need a little extra support and motivation to say we can achieve it, because society has prompted us or conditioned us to say, no, our place is limited. But now as we transition, especially in 2024, we're seeing that women are more motivated to want to achieve more and do more because they now believe that they can. Right. And this book was geared to really help them on that journey to guide them towards that.
Right. Now, you say discovering your inner CEO,
yes.
Chief Executive Officer.
Actually, no.
Right. Because when people hear CEO, they go, oh, Chief Executive Officer. That's not what you're mentioning here.
No, it's not.
To here.
It's not. CEO for me means Chief Emboldened Officer, because to be emboldened means to give confidence and courage to do something. And I wanted you to discover your inner CEO because it's going to come from within to really have that courage and ambition to want to achieve the greatest heights of success. Anything that you're desiring or wanting to do, it comes from within, not from external forces. So I wanted you to tap into that and say, what can I do because I believe I can? Is
it within every woman to be emboldened internally, intrinsically?
Absolutely, absolutely. And I will say it's within everyone, but I hyper-targeted to women because, again, they needed that extra support, or I found that they needed it because I needed it as well as I was going on my journey in career corporate and then transitioning to an entrepreneur. I recognized I needed a little help because that support system wasn't there and I was seeking it out. So I'm trying to create that for women as they go forward.
Why do you think that support system is absent?
I think it does tie into going back to the cultural side of a woman's role. And we are unlearning that that role isn't just in the household, because a woman can lead, a woman should lead. And fun fact, I was reading this article that talked about women are, at least in America where I'm based, women are at the helm of 10% of America's largest publicly traded companies. 10%. That's not a lot. Yeah. And women are so capable to do more, but it's getting that courage and confidence to say, I can do this.
Right. Now, there must have been a moment in your life when you went, all right, Tracy, let's do this. That moment when you started to embolden yourself, was there a pivotal moment that kind of helped you to discover your inner CEO?
I will say that moment of, Tracy, let's do this, is every day. The pivotal moment came from actually being in corporate America and quickly rising through the ranks of the different positions I was in and realizing I really don't want to do this. I'm good at it, but I really don't want to do this. There's no passion. There was no spark. There was no, ambition that was coming from, I'm really excited about what I'm doing, or the common term burnout. So I wanted to really find what I was excited about and really dive into that. And it was along that journey for myself that I had that pivotal moment.
To get to that point, though, you've got to ask yourself the right questions. And you speak about it in your book, asking the right questions.
Yes.
I mean, women we're all individuals. We're all diverse. We're all unique as individuals, right? So it won't be the same question for every woman, but are there certain questions which are common across women that you can go, something to spark you?
Yes, I will say so. In the book is a guided journal, and it is intended to help women really think creatively and honestly as to what is it that I want, and really tap into that. Now, for me, the question always comes back to how can I serve others best? Because that's how I believe leadership is, service of others, but really tying into, okay, what is it that I want? And let's have an honest conversation with that, with no one else in the room, just me and myself. What do I want? And you'll find that sometimes when you ask that question, you're stuck. because I don't know what I want. And that's okay to admit that, but it's starting that journey to really discover that.
Right. Now, you're Jamaican.
Yes.
Born, raised here.
Yes.
Went to high school here.
Yes.
Then you migrated to the US.
Yes.
And you've traveled a bit.
Yes.
How has that helped to kind of shape you, and how much of that is poured into the book?
I will tell you, travel is my favorite thing in the world. I have a goal of visiting 100 countries.
Where are you on that list?
I am at 21.
Good.
So travel for me is an exploration of culture. And with that, I try to tie that into the book as to we all learn differently. We are all different. But with travel, you recognize we're actually not that different. And when you really tap into that, you recognize that, hey, I can work with different people. I can understand people better. I can communicate better. I can tap into myself. And travel has that ability. It's almost like magic to say, let me learn about myself in an uncomfortable situation, in a different environment, to really foster further growth.
Good. Now, for viewers who may not necessarily grab a hold of the book right away,
yes,
what are some tips that you can leave with them?
One of my favorite things in the book is, and I always get as a response, is going on a date with yourself as a woman, just you, because we've also been conditioned that we need people. Social media has taught us we need affirmations from others. We need to be around, so we are social beings, which is true. But going into, let me just sit in my own space. Let me go. I was at Devon House yesterday. Let me sit in my own space. Let me enjoy nature and just be with myself. Because we don't take that time, especially in today's world, being distracted by technology and the dings on the phones and the emails, and just be present with me. And that would be the #1 tip that I would say, start with that. Right. Because when you're actually sitting with yourself, A, you're very good company, and B, you actually realize, I like myself. Right. Well, hopefully you do, but we're going to say that you do.
The book is also a guided journal,
yes,
and journaling is a very important part of
yes,
self-development and self-growth, yes?
Yes, and the reason I did a guided journal is because I would also be told that I need to journal, and then there would just be an open book. And yeah, I say, well, what do I write?
In there, yeah.
And then I've written a couple of lines and say, now what? Right? Yeah. So I did it guided so it helps prompt you, because if you don't know what to write or what to reflect on, it's a little harder.
Amazing. I'm going to get this as a gift for a friend.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you so much. Where do we get the book?
The book is available on Amazon as well as barnesandnoble.com.
Amazing stuff. Yes. Thank you so much.
You're
Tracy.
welcome.
Author Tracy Duhaney. We'll be right back with more on Smile.